Well friends, today we're taking a look at the Tropida Cosmic 39, a boat with an overall length of 12 meters and a beam of 3.65 meters. We'll take a walk on board to explore the layout, but as always, remember to like this video and leave your thoughts in the comments. Let's check it out together. At the stern, we find a triple Mercury engine with 450 racing horsepower each, a mid-range power output ranging from a pair of 300 horsepower engines to a maximum of 4 engines with 500 horsepower each. We immediately notice how the engine connection pipes are neatly installed beneath the deck, creating a single strip that allows for walking from one side of the boat to the other and easy access to the stern anchor and its windlass. This way we can also take advantage of the rear anchorage and keep the boat practically immobile at anchor. Just a little further forward we find the retractable mooring cleat, the support for installing the aft awning poles, and the quick release brackets for attaching the fenders. A little further forward we see a sun deck. This sun deck offers plenty of comfort and can be further expanded with a fold-down support that encloses the entire area directly adjacent to the engines, thus providing a larger usable surface. On the side we find the fold-down swim platform, which provides an external surface with a retractable boarding ladder. There are also other storage compartments for storing fenders, for example, as in this case. And here too, of course, we find the provision for the awning brackets, the retractable cleat, and the fender bracket. Here, there is also provision for the dock cable to charge the batteries and allow you to use your tools just as if you were at home. Below are the 2 aeronautical-style filler caps, very practical and convenient. And most importantly, they allow for safe refueling, with the rinse shower located just forward in the stern area. So, let's get on board. There's preferential access with this corridor, which allows access to the cockpit. We're always well protected inside the bulwarks because, as you can see, the height of the fiberglass provides full protection throughout the boat. Furthermore, we have a large storage compartment below the electrically operated sun deck, which allows for inspection of all the onboard systems and, above all, plenty of storage space inside. Just forward, directly adjacent to the sun deck, there is a linear sofa, also very comfortable and, above all, well protected, as the boat delivers performance that can easily exceed 70 knots, so the entire crew is perfectly sheltered inside the boat. The hull is infused with 3 steps in the hull and 2 more in the bow to break the waves in rough seas, allowing for safe navigation at any speed and in any sea conditions. We also note the Hertz stereo system with speakers and subwoofers located practically everywhere on the deck, while the cockpit is unobstructed, as you can see, allowing us to freely wander around this convivial aft area. I call it a convivial area because there's a second sofa with a rear-facing seat. Look at how much space there is. So 6 people can easily sit here in the aft area, and furthermore the central table can be electrically raised to create a rear dinette, or the support can be positioned at upholstery height and by adding another cushion, create a single, truly comfortable and above all well-sheltered relaxation area. Beneath the forward sofa is another spacious and convenient locker that can be insulated or electrically cooled, depending on the owner's preferences. While here a little further ahead there is the kitchen block centrally, a fiberglass galley with a cutting board holder on the port side, a central hob, and a sink on the starboard side, but we can install any type of hob on either side of the galley upon request. On both sides there are 2 drawers with integrated refrigerators, while here on the port side there's access to the coffee maker, so you can use it just as if you were at home. So, I was telling you about the layouts that allow for 360 degrees of free movement on board. Notice how we're always well protected inside, and we then arrive at the helm station, an ergonomic and well protected position with 2 seats side by side. We can also replace the center armrest and install a 3rd seat, which in this setup can be electrically raised and lowered and is also shock absorbing with an adjustable headrest, so everyone can choose their preferred configuration. Above all, we're well protected laterally thanks to the reinforcements, which allow us to be well sheltered and comfortable inside the helm station. The helm station offers easy access to the helm. I can even put my feet up on the steps installed low down so I can raise my vantage point. And look, I have 3 displays next to each other, allowing me to have all the information I need, not only about engine status and navigation, but also about the onboard automation. Since we have all the electronic switches, we can even decide to activate the lighting and even dim all the onboard lights. If necessary, we can inspect all the systems, including all the fuses that can trigger alarms, and then reactivate them directly by pressing a simple button here on the display. Look at the top speed, which with this configuration reached 71 knots. But the shipyard assures performance that can reach up to 100 knots if we want to install maximum power aft. The Hertz source for the entire stereo system is also here. The switches for the main utilities are here, and the electronic battery switches are here, so we don't have to turn them on manually inside the cabin. The anchor windlass with chain counter, while here on the left is the bow thruster joystick, so you can quickly adjust it by hand to the left without having to look away. And speaking of visibility, look here, the glass windshield is super protective and allows for full control of navigation, since the aft struts only slightly obstruct the view. But look, we have 360 degrees control around us, and above all, the helm station is well protected. So we can navigate even at high speeds, as I mentioned, without any problems. And of course, as already mentioned, there is provision for an awning, so you can also install one at the stern to shade the entire rear portion of the boat. On the armrest, we also find 2 convenient cup holders that both cool and heat, so you can choose the temperature of your drinks. While here is a convenient glove compartment for storing practically everything and keeping it well protected. And there's also the World Design Competition plaque, which was won by the boat's designer. As you can see, the entire hull and deck have a line that's reminiscent of an airplane wing, specifically to offer the best aerodynamic performance. There's also a wireless charger for your smartphone, so you can keep it well protected and above all, keep everything under control. There's also another one on the side for the co-pilot, so we can move toward the bow because, as I mentioned, the deck remains free of obstacles. There are no steps or supports, so we can freely walk around on board. Look at the height of the tube, which is above my knee. It's a neoprene Orca tube, on which you can optionally install handles that are mounted directly onto the tube. So we won't see patches or supports, but they will be made directly with the ribs fabric. Moving towards the bow, where we find this modular sun deck with 2 lateral supports that can be raised and adjusted to 2 positions, allowing you to choose between a seat and a headrest. Furthermore, the entire area is internally locked, so by raising it we have plenty of storage space and can therefore leave everything perfectly tidy. Here too, 2 Hertz speakers complete the onboard audio compartment. Through this step, we can access the upholstery directly. The upholstery is made by Sambrella, but it is a much softer fabric than traditional Sky, and obviously it is a marine fabric, so it is resistant to bad weather, and above all offers protection against UV rays. We now arrive at the front end. Fiberglass bow integrated with the hull, double mooring cleat for lateral mooring. Notice the wood-clad surface, as the entire decking provides a good support surface. But by lifting this hatch, we access a very convenient first locker, since we can stow all the ropes and thus be sure they don't dirty or wet the rest of the upholstery. And if necessary, we can lift this tank and access the windlass motor inspection area and the anchor locker, allowing us to perform any ordinary or extraordinary maintenance. Keep in mind that the camera is installed so we can easily monitor the chain flow directly from the helm station, allowing just one person to perform all maneuvers. But now let's return to the center of the hull. I'll show you the contralateral passage and let's go inside. Because the rib has a sporty line but has also a cabin inside. Look, cabin with lateral sliding door, allowing for unobstructed access, and above all, look the thickness of the seals, which provide so much safety and at the same time isolate the interior from the outside, allowing for comfort and peace of mind with plenty of soundproofing. So we enter, noting that there's a wider, more comfortable first step for resting your feet and a second to reduce the height difference. Then in front of us lies the double bed, a memory foam bed that allows for comfortable relaxation. What's more, the entire area is lockable to further increase the storage space. As I mentioned, we can keep everything perfectly tidy, with very convenient side supports for placing smartphones. A first porthole is installed there toward the bow, a skylight to provide more light above. It's also possible to install a second porthole here in the main section of the cabin, below the aft section, to ensure full air circulation. I'll also show you the height here inside the cabin. Look at how much space there is. I can stand completely upright, then it goes down, but it's perfectly preserved because the bed begins here. I can lie down without any problem, so even though we have a sporty boat, we can still relax inside, thanks in part to the memory foam padding. Here on the starboard side is access to the bathroom. The bathroom has a toilet installed aft and a sink along the bulwark. Look at the width and height. I can stand perfectly upright as everything is perfectly preserved. There's only one step down for greater protection if we want to shower, as there's also a shower installed down here. And look, I can even close the door and still enjoy the interior without any problems, especially considering the natural light provided by the skylight above. Here, towards the stern, is access to the service hatch for inspecting all the systems, and there's also a second one for any routine or extraordinary maintenance that can be done here on the boat. There's also an additional drawer below, again to increase storage space. So we have a 12-meter boat with very sporty lines. It's an iconic design, but one that doesn't sacrifice comfort, with a cabin for two, a separate bathroom, an outdoor galley, and many other features that allow for maximum onboard comfort. It's a truly incredible hull that propels the boat to high speeds in any sea condition. And so, dear friends, this is the Tropida Cosmic 39. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and Facebook page. Leave a like and tag people you think might be interested. And as always, for all future videos, see you here on the Sea Team.